Now, this is interesting. Looking for Star Wars news, looking for things to make content about. And as I'm pouring through the news and looking at things, I find a modern media entity that does a review of the very first Star Wars movie. Many of us call that A New Hope. I simply call it Star Wars, like a lot of you do as well. Let's see what the modern media has to say about our beloved Star Wars. All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Coach here from Echo Base Network, in for Nick on this one. Nick is out at the Las Vegas meetup, so you are stuck with me, but I am keeping those fires burning. Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Geek Vibes Nation. They just released a article, a Throwback Thursday movie review. They do these every Thursday, and this time they picked Star Wars. Let's see what the modern media has to say about the greatest movie of all time. Now, my favorite's Empire, but the greatest movie of all time, Star Wars, yes, maybe. So let's go ahead and dive right in, and we'll be back at the conclusion of the article for a brief discussion, so don't go anywhere. So over at Geek Vibes Nation, Throwback Thursday movie review, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Well, they're already off. It's not A New Hope. It's Star Wars. I digress. The article reads, even if you've never seen Star Wars, you are familiar with the long-standing opening crawl. It remains fixated on the screen, and the Star Wars logo shrinks to a central point. There is something comforting about seeing this opening crawl featured at the beginning of each of the main Star Wars films. When I was approached to do a Throwback Thursday movie review, my ears started ringing. Sure, I'd love to, and I love that idea. My wheels started rolling, and I asked my hubby, what should I do? What should I review first? He replied, what's the first movie you saw on the big screen? Of course, the magical film that kicked off my love of movies was first Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. My first viewing. A long time ago in my hometown, now far, far away. The theater was packed. I sat between my dad and my cousin Brian with my Uncle Jim alongside him. Both my dad and uncle had been lifelong movie lovers. Actually, you could say my whole family had been lifelong movie lovers. Up until COVID, my dad and his siblings, now all retired, would meet at the local theater on Fridays, $5 for seniors, and they can catch a second movie if that theater isn't full. $5 for 2 movies. My family has instilled that love in the younger generations. An iconic franchise. Make it a movie night. Star Wars is the most iconic film ever, as it was the beginning of one of the most consistent and beloved franchise cinemas has ever known or seen. That's a good point. You're absolutely correct there. The film has a fabulous plot, and the opening scene with the Star Destroyer attacking the small rebel vessel blew me away. From the bright green laser bolts to the color and texture of the planet Tatooine, every bit of detail was not just amazed, but perfect. The groundbreaking visual effects displayed were nothing we ever dreamed of seeing then. The best way to describe seeing Star Wars for the first time in 1977 is to watch an episode of that 70s show from the debut season appropriately called A New Hope. That was the look on everybody's face in that packed theater, just all of us in awe. Eyes wide open and bright, we were hooked. Borrowing from different established elements such as Akira Kurosawa and weaving them together, Lucas gave the world a fresh new story that popularized science fiction like never before. The film was a marvel of special effects. George didn't just give us special effects. He also introduced us to some of the cinema's most iconic characters, including Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, R2-D2, Grand Moff Tarkin, and fan favorite Darth Vader. These characters now come in everything from action figures to Funko Pop and even Pez candy. My personal favorite is Yoda, the child of which, yes, I have my own doll. A legendary soundtrack. Let's talk about the soundtrack. That unforgettable score played throughout the film is extraordinary and gives me goosebumps unlike any other. On the recommendation of his friend Steven Spielberg, Lucas hired composer John Williams. He had worked with Spielberg on the film Jaws, for which he won an Academy Award. The soaring Star Wars theme was inspired by 1942's King's Row, scored by Erich Wolfgang Korngold. Star Wars rightfully went on to win Best Original Score from the Golden Globes and the Oscar. A masterpiece. The practical effects for its time are outstanding, and the performances had us on the edge of our seats. The cast was definitely talented with their natural charisma carrying over into the characters. The classic film connects to the lives of many millions of people in ways other movies cannot. The film is a classic that every new generation of people should see. However, people often take it for granted due to how ubiquitous it is. Set aside the fame for a bit and really take in what this film has to offer. There is nothing more I can say except it is a masterpiece. And ladies and gentlemen, that is from Geek Vibes Nation. And I must tell you, I am very pleasantly surprised that the modern media is praising the original Star Wars, because we're living in a time where we don't get that a whole lot. We don't. The modern media thinks the new stuff is better than, it seems like. The studios certainly do. So these people got it right. It truly is a masterpiece. There's nothing like it. There'll never be anything else like it. It is the best. Nothing can even come close. So thank you, Geek Vibes Nation. Very, very tickled, like we say in the South, with this article. And it's good that we're keeping our love of Star Wars alive. That's what this is about. That's what this channel is about. We love it. We come here together. We celebrate it together. We experience it together, both the highs and the lows. But we can always look back at our original trilogy and remember why we fell in love with it in the first place and how we have loved it so many years later. Guys, that's going to do it for us on this one. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you come by and visit us on Saturday night. Every Saturday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, we have a live show. It is our weekly Saturday night Star Wars show. You don't want to miss it. It is the best show on Saturday night YouTube. It's just one of a kind. And the reason why it's so good is because of you. Because of you. The community here at Echo Base Network is second to none. Second to none. Second to none. Believe that. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. I am Coach. We are, and you are Echo Base Network, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.